Hello and welcome. Tonight we're here for the round of 10 finale for race number 16 of the Contender series. Tonight we're here at the Chicagoland for the Fuel 240 as we narrow our playoff field from 10 down to 5. And we'll see who our championship 5 is in the race for the championship over the next few weeks. Qualifying currently underway right now on the top of the board. No one has set a lap just yet. Fastest in practice though was a 29.941 set by Calvin Smith. We'll see if he can back that up. But qualifying currently going away. We'll see who can put it on the board.
As Calvin Smith here on the racetrack, entering turn at number 1 and 2. Lap times coming in here in a few moments' time. There's Scott Kerberg now top of the board. Now Derek Riley. Stop time sliding in about 3.5 minutes left in qualifying.
Could have goes to the top of the board, 30.235, and he goes to P1 there. Calvin Smith currently on his lap as we're watching him through turns 3 and 4 here. Looks like he's gonna get the wall though, and that's gonna slow. That's gonna end his lap there.
It's going to be really slow in his second lap too as well.
Cause him a couple hundredths here. We'll see how he can make that back up. He's going to rip the top here in 1 and 2, right up against the outside wall. Good to see lap number 2. He goes a little bit slower on lap 2, so he will not improve his pole time. Calvin Smith goes back to the top here in 3 and 4. Top seems to be the move for these drivers tonight. Jason Bottoms to the pole, 30.198. We'll see if Calvin Smith can take that away from him. He's not even going to go to the apron. Calvin Smith at the line.
Oh, 6th place, I believe. And he might clip the outside wall actually.
It does not count. So he invalid lap for Calvin Smith. Jason Bottoms completing lap number 2 here.
They go all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. We'll see if he goes quicker. No, he's not on his second time laps.
Not go any quicker there. Lap number 2. Dan Stockero rolling out of pit road right now. Mike D. Marshall on the racetrack trying to improve lap number 2 as well. Here's Kyle Schmitz.
He goes to 5th.
His lap 30.328. Mike D. Marshall out of the wall on his second lap. He will not improve.
Looks like the first lap a little bit quicker than the second lap here at Chicagoland. Seems like for most of these drivers at least.
And here comes Dan Stockero running the bottom of the racetrack, finding some extra speed down there. I think it might be a little bit quicker on the bottom. Depends on how the track's rubbered in here at Chicagoland. Depends on who and what lane is better. We'll see who can excel as a lot of the drivers ran the top lane. Here comes Dan Stockero running the bottom of the racetrack. When it comes to the line, not going to use the apron. He's going to stand up on the racetrack, 30.374. It will go to P number 7, P number 8 there for Dan Stockero.
Schmitz into his lap. So it looks like everyone has completed a lap. Maybe Dan Stockero last lap for him. We went left in qualifying. Looks like Jason Bottoms currently on pole position. We'll see if he can get his second. Off of turn 4, here comes Stockero. The stripe really go quicker, not quite, about 3/10 off. So it looks like Jason Bottoms will be on pole position here tonight for the Goat Fuel 240, his own sponsor as well.
Jason Bottoms puts it on the pole with Goat Fuel on the race car, and is looking to win tonight's race for a Goat Fuel 240. We'll see how for the Goat Fuel 240 here tonight. We'll see who can pick up a win tonight as well, lock themselves into the championship 5. Jason Bottoms, one of those playoff drivers, looking to make it into the championship 5, have an opportunity at the championship here in the next coming up in the next few weeks. He entered tonight 8 points below the cutoff, so he's looking to try and get this race win and lock himself in easily next week.
Yeah, you see on the top right of your screen currently the points going into tonight's race. See Jason Bottoms a little bit off the cutoff, only 8 points though, but you know, if you can get, we just got to finish 8 positions ahead of Calvin Smith, Rusty Rafferty, as Dorian Hamilton currently in that 6th place spot, not here tonight, so that pretty much automatically moves Jason Bottoms up, as actually currently live as it runs, Jason Bottoms would be in 4th place in the points, and Derek Riley would be the last driver in. So obviously that's based off the qualifying results here as they grid up here for the Goat Fuel 240.
And we'll see. We'll have to monitor that points all night. Those points all night long here tonight. We'll see how it works out and who will be our championship 5 here at the end of the night. Tonight's a 160 lap race here from Chicagoland. But yeah, the tire wear starts to matter later in tonight. We got a fuel looking around from 38 to 42 laps, so these drivers looking to try and split it every 40 laps is so 40, 80, 120 will probably be the number these drivers want to go for. We'll see if they can stretch it any farther, but it was 30. We were given 38 to 40. But we'll see if we can stretch it any longer. We'll see how that plays out, especially some of these drivers towards the back. If they can save a little bit extra fuel in the draft, we'll see how that plays out. But these drivers are on the grid, getting ready for tonight's race. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup here for the Goat Fuel 240. They just saw Jason Bonds able to put it on the pole with a 30.198. Starting alongside him in the 9 machine will be Cody Dorsey. Starting in third here tonight will be the 53 of Robert Whipple. Cole Lewis will start in fourth in the 52. Kyle Schmitz will round out the top 5 of the 19 machine. Dan Barone in the 33, he will start 6th. Starting 7th will be the 2 of Joshua Schmitz. And the 27, Dan Stacker will round out the top 8. Starting 19th tonight is the 17 of Derek Riley. Round out the top 10 will be the 34, Rusty Rafferty. Stephen Horner will start 11th here tonight. Scott Kerber will start in 12th. Starting 13th will be the 20 of Brandon Newton. And the 8 of Mike D. Marshall, he'll start 14th. Starting running our final row of the field tonight, it'll be the 8 of Dakota Y. Running our 16 car field, it'll be the 3 of Calvin Smith.
And Calvin Smith having to start in the rear of the field, gonna be a little bit difficult for him to try work his way through the traffic and also the dirty air as well, being able to save those tires. But most of the field graded up, all 15 drivers except Calvin Smith. There he enters on the track. He's starting in the pit lane. Not sure. Don't believe he had a penalty from the last race at North Wilkesboro, but we can go double check that real quick. Now it looks like he did not, or excuse me, Canadian Tire, but looks like he's just starting from the pit lane, I guess here. Maybe misses the grid as well, so he's gonna have to be even more at disadvantage here going into the night's race.
Just getting it ready to go here. We'll see who can get into the championship 5 tonight. As mentioned, points being an advantage. Some drivers having some advantage already. Looking to try and lock their, just try and get through tonight cleanly and get in and make it in. Josh Smith's 25-point buffer. Same with Kyle Schmitt's 17-point buffer.
Yeah, those drivers are pretty much
looking like Calvin Smith, Derek Riley. Not much of an advantage. Only 7 points and 5 points there. So see how that plays out.
Yeah, pretty much the top 2 pretty much locked in, not 100% guaranteed, but I think based off the amount of drivers in tonight's race, 16, I think they're pretty much locked in. It'd be very tough for them to get knocked out of this one, but pace car is off and we're about to go green.
We'll see who will be our championship 5 at the end of the night. Pace car is off, green flag is in the air. Jason Bottoms will lead them to the start finish line. We're on our way here tonight from Chicagoland. Down the back straightaway, already a big move for Cody Dorsey. You're going to look down on the bottom, inside for the lead. Side by side for the race lead. Cody Dorsey going to try and get up in front of Jason Bottoms. Not going to be able to do it. They're going to stay side by side off of turn number 4.
Looks like Jason Bottoms will do that lap, which is important, as there are some bonus points as well into play here in tonight's race. And Bottoms will clear off turn 2.
Clears for the race lead, single file through the rest of the field so far. Down to the turn at number 1 and 3 and 4. Oh, we got a car around to the back, off of turn number 4. There's a car around.
That's Cole Lewis.
Looks like it's Cole Lewis goes around off of 4. Some other drivers got a little bit of
Rusty
contact
Rafferty,
there.
Big damage. Same with Mike Marshall possibly as well. Brand Newman. First caution of the night.
That's our first yellow of the night. Let's take a look at what happened here off of turn number 4. It's like this
Lewis
starts with Cole Lewis off 4. Looks like he may have just got loose off the corner.
Just lost, yeah. Like you said, just lost it. and tied a couple other drivers as well. Biggest one to note was really Rusty Rafferty there, who is in the playoffs currently. As now he just got black flag entering, I'm guessing, a closed pit there. And that's some major damage to that 34 machine. Luckily he does have a fast spare, so he'll be able to lead that Ford Mustang back on the racetrack. But you don't want to use your quick repair this early in tonight's race, but you'll have to do that here on lap number 4.
Especially don't want to lose your fast repair this early in the race. You don't want to be caught up in an early incident as well. The track position is going to be a very important track position, very important in this race car.
Yeah, definitely, especially at Chicagoland with the multi-grooves as well. I mean, you can maybe make your way up a little bit, but in the next gen car, typically, at least recently, they've had kind of some updates. A little bit more dirtier than usual, as also the dirt on the racetrack as well. Those drivers going through the grass, that's going to be a little bit of a factor maybe on these initial laps after we go back green. But we'll take a quick look at our live points update right now, and the top 5, currently Joshua Schmitz, Cody Dorsey, Kyle Schmitz, Jason Bottoms, and Derek Riley. There's a pretty big gap from Derek Riley to Calvin Smith, but Calvin Smith is mired in the back there around 13th place. So, have to work his way up to the field if he wants a chance at this top 5. And Calvin Smith, he's been really quick this season. Just hasn't really able to make up those results, and kind of had some bad luck as well.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. So these drivers just trying to get some points tonight. Want to lock into the end of the championship 5. Cody Dorsey, our previous last season's champion. Looking to try and go back to back, and right now currently in only -10 out of the points lead. Is a good bit over that cut line right now. Only about 16 over Calvin Smith in that cut line. So looking really good for Cody Dorsey right now, running in that second place position as well as we get the paint schemes corrected now. But Jason Bottoms leads the field. He looks like to take the outside lane here for this restart.
Yeah, one also interesting thing to note is if you do lead the most laps, you get an extra bonus point, and also if you have the fastest lap, you get an extra bonus point. So right now, Jason Bottoms has the fastest lap. He's led the most laps, and he's led a lap tonight, so he has 3 bonus points already, which is equivalent to 3 positions. So I mean, that can make a big difference here late in this race if he's maybe have some trouble later in tonight's race. I mean, you just never know how these late races go. I mean, we're still 150 plus laps to go to the end, so you never know which points matter at the end of this one.
You never know what can happen in the race. You can see a last lap wreck that takes a lot of cars. You can see a big wreck that takes out a lot of cars earlier, and some drivers fix the damage, just trying to pick up some points. So every point can matter here. We'll see how this plays out here later in the night. The place car's off, and we're going to get back to the Geico Research Zone. Green flag back in here, lap number 7. Jason Bottoms a great launch on the outside lane. And Cody Dorsey is going to try to fight in on the bottom. He's going to try and slide his way up into turn number 1. He will clear Dan Barone side by side with Robert Whipple as they enter 1 and 2. As now Whipple trying around Dan Barone as we got a car coming up with the apron there. Might be Marshall. But it looks like Whipple with a really good run off of turn number 2. He's going to clear Cody Dorsey into 3.
Yeah, interesting note, Russ Rafferty, he actually his black flag was just cleared. I think that was from an earlier during the pit road incident. But side by side, still Cody Dorsey losing another spot to Dan Barone in that 33 machine.
Dan Barone working the outside lane, trying to find some speed, trying to find some air. Got right up against that outside wall, trying to get a little bit of air on that nose. Dirty air, big disadvantage in this race car in the next gen. Trying to find some air, but a lot of drivers stay to the top lane. You see a few drivers going to the middle, and then everybody else on the bottom. But up front, everyone's pretty much going to the top, just trying to keep the momentum going.
Charlie Dorsey just in the fast lap there in third place as the top three pretty close together. Maybe we'll look for the inside there. Gilly goes Whipple. The race here momentarily. Then you get off of turn 4. Not quite. Jason Bottom's able to roll that top side really good. He's a clear still off of turn 4.
Take the spot away. Down into turn number 1. Whipple looked like he might dive for the race lead of the 1. Trying to look into turn number 1 there.
Dorsey looking, maybe have a nose underneath Whipple there. Through turn 3 and 4, just not able to really do much on the inside line. Listening to the outside line, just a little bit more overpowered. But big side drop there in the front straightaway. He's alongside him pretty easily down. And turn number 1 can do a little slide job move. Down in turn 1 entry. Looks like he'll try to slide in front of that 53 machine. And it's going to be close on exit. But a crossover move here, and also Denbro in 3 wide here for second for a moment. You go back to 2 wide for third.
Daverol on the bottom, trying to get up in front of Whipple, not going to be able to do it. Whipple's going to go around the outside in turn number 4.
Looks like Brown will get that position though in that third place spot. A little side-by-side action. Rusty Racky was involved in that lap 3 caution.
Joshua Schmidt sideways. He's going to collect Dan Stockero. He's going to keep it straight. We'll stay green. But he got loose off turn 4. Collected Stockero a little bit. Looked like he may have like a
right front
inside car as well, but
he might have steering damage.
A lot of right front damage. That's gonna make that car plow tight the rest of this race. It's already a tight setup here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, we'll take a quick
look
up in there.
To manage that one.
Looks like he maybe just got loose off of turn number 2. Just kind of like tight loose effects.
I think, yeah, just slid up the racetrack. Oh, gonna overcorrected right in the Dan Stockero. Did not collect Rafferty. Rafferty almost got collected in that one. But he holds on, keeps it straight. A lot of damage. We'll see if that's any wheel damage. As long as it's not wheel damage, he should be able to fix that pretty quickly. It shouldn't be that bad of aero. He's gonna need a yellow. Or you're gonna lose at least 12 seconds on the pit road. But right, trying to fix that. But the car, here's the caution right there. It looks like off of 4. Dan Stockero will spin it on the front straightaway as Cody Dorsey was about to make a move for the race lead on Jason Bottoms.
Not sure if he stalled it there maybe, but we'll see what happened there. Off of turn 4 with this 27 machine. Looks like just got
slide
loose.
Up off turn number, yeah, just kicks the back end kicks out. These drivers getting a little bit loose, surprisingly.
Ooh man, luckily everyone avoided him there. Sliding back on the racetrack, trying to lock those brakes down.
Sliding out a little bit. Can be a loose setup depending on the way you're pushing as well. But you can easily make this car kind of drive here at Chicagoland any way you want it. You kind of get it tight if you burn off the right front. But you can also burn off the right rear as well. You also got to be careful because you end up burning one a little bit. If you burn up one a little bit much, you're gonna be either spinning. You're probably gonna be spinning out because you either be pushing loose, pushing tight, and then you'll crank it, crank the wheel, trying to get out of the wall, and then you end up spinning out once the tires finally grip.
Yeah, kind of like I said, a little push loose type situation. But interesting thing. We'll see if these drivers come down pit lane, maybe take some tires here. I mean, they've only been on this under green probably around 9 or 10 laps, but it looks like Bottoms maybe going. No, looks like a little fake move there as they'll go back on the racetrack there. We'll see how the points are looking right now after a second caution. It looks like even with Joshua Schmidt's mistake in 13th place, I'm pretty sure he's locked into the chase, or the round of 5, I should say. In the next week, I believe. I mean, he's all the way down in that 11th place spot, and he's still 13 points ahead of the cutoff. So I think he's pretty much locked into the round of 5 points wise. But man, that 5th place is a little bit closer than it was before. Calvin Smith up to 8th place now. Derek Riley only a couple of spots ahead of him in 6th. So I mean, that 5th place is gonna be really, really interesting. I'm late into this race as well.
so far looking good for Josh Fitz above the cut line. Derek Riley just a few points above. Now it's just trying to work its way back up the field, through the field, as he had a bad qualifying, did not get a lap. So far up to 8th right now.
Yeah, he had to start from the pits since he did not plug down a qualifying lap. That is a rule in this league. So you have to start in the pit lane if you do not put down a qualifying lap. So that is why he had to start from the pits there at the beginning of this run. But luckily he's had a few cautions here early on to kind of catch him back up, as we're doubling foul back here on lap 17.
One to green here. Jason Bottoms looking to start on the outside once again, so it seems like the outside lane so far in this race. So we'll have to try and get a good launch on the inside lane.
Yeah, it seems like the outside's been really good so far tonight, just in general, even on these restarts and also under green flag conditions, side by side and turn in these turns. But we'll see the outside lane kind of rubbers up a little bit and maybe loses some of that grip, or maybe vice versa. But this goes off here. It's about to go green here on lap number 18.
This goes off, green flag back in there. Good launch for Jason Bottoms on the top lane. He was going to clear easily. So especially here at Chicagoland, just the leader's launch just so good here. So hard to get it, trying to get something happening if you're not the leader. And Jason Bottoms able to get it, to take even better advantage of it on the top lane. Easily clear for now and through the back, off the back straightaway into 3, but side by side for that 3rd place spot. Barone looking on the inside of Wibble to take that spot away for P3. As they're almost side by side with Cody Dorsey there on that restart, but Cody Dorsey able just to get away, as it looks like Dan Barone will take that spot away, as the 28 of Brandon Newton looked to the inside as well there. Calvin Smith working his way up here, as you see, just behind Rusty Ralphie and Derek Riley, just outside that top 5.
Yeah, just side by side here for 6th and 7th. Also up ahead, 4th and 5th, Robert Whipple and Brandon Newton. There's a single foul out for the most part here up front. Obviously still side by side here behind Rusty Ralphie and Derek Riley. These drivers in the playoffs, trying to fight for every point they can have here early on in tonight's race. The top 6 drivers have yet to pit so far. Everyone on back has pitted at least one time. Looks like Cody Dorsey side by side here for the race leader on Jason Bottoms. Through 1 and 2, Bottoms on the top side. Has a good run down the back straight away. He's going to clear for a moment here. Dorsey back in line for 2nd.
This will slot back in line. Dan Barone watching this battle right behind him. Has a front row seat to this battle for the race lead. Trying to find some cleaner on the nose, trying to save a little bit of tire as well. So far though, Jason Bottoms able to hold on to the race lead. Dorsey trying to find his way by, trying to get this trying to get some clean air. So he's working the inside lane, making it happen, making some time up there on the bottom.
And top they have a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field as they single file out back for 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th. Cody Dorsey, oh, the back number! That's good. Jason Bottoms loose though. He may have put some air on the back end of his car and got him sideways. Now Cody Dorsey takes the race lead here off of turn number 4 on lap 23.
Jason Bottoms losing it off of 4. It looks like Cody Dorsey just kind of reefed that back bumper. Jason Bottoms here swiped the back end of the race car with the air, and that's what really gets the next gen car loose. And Jason Bottoms falls, almost loses the race car. They'll fall back to third, and now he's got Robert Whipple trying to find his way by, but Cody Dorsey will take the lead away. Dan Barone not too far behind, trying to stay close with this as well. He also has a faster lap right now, so Dan Barone has had some good pace so far here tonight, just not into the track position. He tries to find the cleaner on the very right up against that outside wall, but right now currently the top two pulling away a little bit for the rest of the field.
Jason Bottom struggling, it seems like, on that rear end. A little bit loose there through 3 and 4 once again. Maybe just over pushed the tires just a little bit too much, trying to stay in front of Cody Dorsey these past few laps. Getting that third place spot, but he's getting hunted down from behind. He's got to keep his position here for the points for him to advance to the round of 5. So currently he's on the outside looking in right there. He's 2 points back from Calvin Smith, so he cannot afford to lose any more spots at this moment.
Yeah, Jason Bottom just trying to stay up in front, trying to treat some traffic. You gotta be careful. You don't want to burn up your tires trying to fight so hard right now. You better maybe try to let those drivers by and just try and stay behind them if you're worried about burning up the tire, worried about the traffic, just burning up the tires too much. It's not worth trying to fight for the track position this early and just completely eating up those tires. But they do not, they have not pitted yet so far, so they do have to. So they do have to pit probably in the next 15 laps. Oh, right behind him, Brandon New getting really loose off turn 4, almost overcorrected back up in front of the field off of 4, but he is able to keep it together and keep it on the apron there, and he'll merge back up. But he's going to lose a couple of spots. He falls back to 9th, just in front of Dan Stockero.
Yeah, once again, just lost
off turn 4.
Lost on the inside. We've seen that a couple times here tonight. Tires just kind of burning up those rear tires, it seems like, here at Chicagoland. I'm sure the temperatures are pretty hot. We'll take a quick look at the weather. About 90-degree track temp here in Joliet, Illinois. I mean, it's pretty hot for about a mid-May afternoon.
But it's only going to cool down as we're right now currently 4 o'clock in the sim, so it's only going to get cooler as we go throughout the night. So we'll see how that goes out. Maybe the car might tighten up, might loosen up a little bit. We'll see how that plays out and see how this track changes throughout the night. Usually when the track gets kind of cool, the top lane is better, so it might be kind of a top train type of race later in the race. We'll see how it plays out. So far, it is Cody Dorsey in the race lead. He's been right on the top lane. And he is pulled away from Dan Barone and the rest of the field by about a second and a half.
Yeah, he's really opened up that gap right now. And I think he saved his tires really well behind Jason Bottoms. Even with that dirty air, he looked really good, and he's looking really good right now in clean air as well. And Jason Bottoms has recovered well, staying at third place position. Hasn't really lost too many spots after his kind of a half spin save right there in turn number 4. As Rusty Rafferty looking like he might go a lap down here in a few moments' time. A little side by side here comes Calvin Smith on Derek Riley. These are the two drivers on the cutoff line right now. A little bit above. Oh, Smith tries to clear himself. He does so. Riley may have got the outside wall, just barely on his right side. I think he's okay in that 17 machine.
Holds on to it right now. Just keep it in line. These four pretty close together. Whipple behind, pretty much knows the tail here with Calvin Smith. Calvin Smith going to dive out of the bottom, trying to take this 4th place spot away, and he will. Jason Bottoms will lose a few more points to that as well. So this might be tough for Jason Bottoms. I hope Derek Riley maybe has a little bit of issues later tonight.
And Derek Riley and Calvin Smith tied.
Robert Whipple goes out of 4 through the grass. So they keep it straight through the grass. He's going to try and merge back up to the racetrack and keep it together. So get back on the racetrack. Oh no, he'll spin it. They're doing a long mowing again in 1 and 2.
Yeah, the transition from
Trying
grass,
to get back on the apron.
the grass to asphalt's a little tricky there. And oh, he spins it again. He has dirt on his tires. I don't think that'll be a caution. He's off the racing surface. We will see in a moment's time, though. He has to get back going. And what a disaster there. Goes from around 5th or 6th to all the way down to 14th place. And leaders are coming up to lap him soon as well. Oh, he spins it out again. And that might be
and that brings up the yellow.
He still had dirt on his tires. We cut away and he spun out again. Just dirt on his tires. You cannot go too quickly in these next gen cars once you have dirt on your tires. He's spinning around here. And on the bank. Aiming right there and tries to gas it up and around he goes. Still dirt on those tires, and Rusty Rafty comes by, and that triggers the caution right there.
Yeah, so he's spun about 4 different times there. Brings it out the yellow here on lap number 35. Now let's going to open up the pit window a little bit here. As these drivers are going to have to pit, but also still might need a 3-stop race. Depends on how much they can save over the course of 3 runs. So they're looking to go about 41, 42 laps once they go back green.
And we shall see here. I mean, I'd assume these drivers coming out pit lane. I mean, there's no reason not to at this point. A long green flag run, and it looks like everyone's gonna come out pit lane.
We'll see how these new tires will play a factor here. Anyone take 2 tires? I wonder if anyone take 2 tires this early.
That'll be a little bit of a risky call to take too early, but we'll see. I mean, maybe someone further on back trying to get some track position here. Also, with how loose it's been out the corners, that's also another risky call there as well.
Goes will usually get off the pit road first.
I should be doubling up next time by.
They call it the yellow. He will go to the EOL, so he also lost a lap in that process as well. So Robert was going to be a lap down, stuck in the back. So we'll see if he maybe gets the yellow, get his lap back.
Yeah, which is kind of surprised me how many cautions we've had early on in this race. I mean, typically it's been pretty much so spins for the most part. I mean, no really hard racing door-to-door contact, just kind of drivers losing off the corners, and obviously we have that last caution was a little bit of a do some dirt on the tires as well. But the reason he was in the dirt was because he got loose off the turn number 4. But just interesting to see how hard this car is handling, especially off the corners. And it seems like off the turn 4 is definitely the most problematic corner so far tonight.
Green flag back in the air. Corliss with a good launch here is right there, right to the inside is Dan Barone. He'll slot behind Cody Dorsey. There in row number 3, though, it is Derek Riley side by side with Cole Lewis. Let's keep pushing on the outside lane as they're trying to freight train that outside. Jason Bottoms a little bit farther back in traffic right now as he's stuck behind this pack of about 4, but he's going to go around the outside as everyone on the bottom. So I'll save a little bit of tire. Jason Bottoms will just drive straight around him on the outside.
Makes up 3 positions there in one corner if he can clear it. Oh, Lewis through turn 1. He's ripping that top side though. Side by side, brand new and Cole Lewis here for round 6 and 7. See, brand new as race leader. Cody Dorsey losing quite a bit of time there. Down 3 spots as now Dan Burrell and Calvin Smith side by side for the race lead. As I'm not sure what happened to Cody Dorsey there. May have hit the outside wall in turn number 4. But Calvin Smith looking for the race lead here tonight on the outside of Dan Barone. Is there still side by side?
Starting from the back, looking for the lead is into turn number 3 and 4. Gonna go around the outside, gonna drive around Dan Barone. Try to do it the hard way, and he will clear. So it's Calvin Smith. He'll take the race lead as he started last year tonight. He'll take it about 4 of the way through here to tonight's race. Calvin Smith worked his way up to the race lead. So good work from that 3 machine so far here tonight.
Yeah, he's always been quick this season so far in the limited starts that he's made. He just hasn't had the results here in the playoffs. Kind of got unlucky a few races as well. So we'll take a quick look at the updated points after a couple laps after the restart right now. Jason Bottoms still a couple points back from Derek Riley in that cutoff line. But Calvin Smith up 3 spots from the start of this race in points wise. But looks like really the biggest challenge right now is Jason Bottoms. I think Dan Brown a little bit too far back going into the next race. Caution's out. Looks like Mike Marshall rounds through turn 3. It's our 4th caution event already here on lap 42.
Yeah, a little it's kind of a wrecked a little bit here tonight. We've had a lot of cautions here. I've been able to get not too many runs. So these drivers haven't been settled in too quickly.
Kyle Schmidt just misjudged there or something. I mean, that was bad side draft possibly there. I mean, I'm the back straight away. Yeah, just bad side draft, I guess. I mean, and also Kyle Schmidt's heavily damaged as well. He'll probably use his faster red. Mike Marshall, I don't think is too heavily damaged actually. I think he stayed off the outside wall. Yes, he did. So, luckily for that 88 machine, he'll be able to probably just change tires and keep going on now. Keep going as well. But probably the most important issue, Rob Wibble on the lead lap here. If you'll get the lucky dog this time by.
So he'll get his lap back and he'll try and drive back up through the field. He was running pretty good there. Up at the top 5 before his moment. There was went through the grass all the way through from the off of 4 into the off of turn number 2 and then spun him a couple of times, trying to get back going and bring out that yellow.
His car lights turn off here.
Take someone to go signal here as Dan Barone going to be our race leader. Calvin Smith line back up in second. Well, actually, well, Calvin Smith the race leader. He'll take the outside. Please. Dan Barone on the inside. As we'll take the pace car, will go off once again here as it'll be Calvin Smith, Dan Barone on the front row, green flag back in the air. Smith with the race lead with a good jump, the outside lane and moving a little bit better jump as well. Dan Barone almost side by side with Jason Bombs. Jason Bombs was the race leader, had his moment off the turn number 4, and he's trying to get back into the race lead. He's sitting back up in third currently right now as he's going to clear for third to try and pull away with the rest of the two out in front of him. Side by side, just behind another single file out. Brandon Newton that will hop up from the fourth.
Cole Lewis, Josh Schmidt side by side. Derek Riley losing another spot too. Cole Lewis, it looks like he might lose 2 up ahead. I mean, 2 up behind of Josh Schmidt and Russ Rafferty. As they're going to be maybe split 3 wide for a moment off of turn 2. Yes, they will. You see Josh Schmidt lose a little bit of time there off of turn 2.
Rafferty will go around the outside, trying to clear clear Derek Riley here into turn number 3 and 4. Rafferty fourth on top lane. He will clear off the turn number 4. He'll stick behind Cole Lewis here. Now Calvin Smith with a good run down the front straightaway into turn number 1 to hold off Dan Barone currently. So right now Jason Bombs still sitting in third of the single file through most of the field right now. Rusty Rafferty though under attack here from Cole Lewis. Cole Lewis go around the outside off the turn number 2. We'll take that spot away off of 2 and we'll clear down the back straightaway into turn 3.
But side by side here for the race lead, here comes Dan Barone. The inside of Calvin Smith will do a little slide job move through turn 1. He doesn't have quite the momentum to do that. Looks like Calvin Smith is going to rock around the outside. Keep that race lead for now.
Smith holds on, just trying to play a little bit defensive here. Staying at the top lane. Shocked, not many drivers going to the bottom. Just save a little bit of the tires on there. Cody Dorsey doing well, and that's what we saw him do earlier in the first run, and it ended up paying off for him. He got the lead towards the tail of that run. So Cody Dorsey, one of the drivers, were on the bottom. Sounds like his bottom's on the bottom. He's going to attack from Brandon Newton on the top lane. He will get clear, but here comes Cody Dorsey as well. Going to try and follow him through, so Bombs will fall back behind Cody Dorsey back into that 5th place spot.
So we'll take a look at the live points update now. As you can see, Derek Riley is only 5 points ahead of Jason Bottoms right now. And Bottoms currently in that 5th place spot on the racetrack, so that bubble spot really is close. And Rusty Rafferty not too far behind either. He's only two points behind Jason Bottoms, and in total he's about 8 points behind Derek Riley as well. So, I mean, I think it's really good between Bottoms, Rafferty, and Barone as well. But I mean, I think Bottoms probably has the best chance here, as he's running the front most of the night as well. So he's had a really fast race car. It's still pretty early on in tonight's race as well, so a lot can change with the handle of this race car.
We'll see still a long way to go. A lot of green flag stops, a lot of mistakes can be made. So we'll see who can manage the pit stop, manage the tires fast, and also get on pit road good. As we're going to see about probably at least 2 green flag pit stops before the end of this race.
Rest your to the inside of Jason Bottoms. Looks like he'll clear. Entering turn number 1, Bottoms falls back in another position. The 6th place. As well, Rusty Rafty loose in front. Losing off turn 2. Is he gonna be able to save? He clips the grass there. He's got some dirt on his tires. So you gotta keep it going. He's gonna drop all the way down to 10th place after being out inside that top 5. Now Derek Riley to the inside.
Jump to the inside. Gonna take the spot away from Jason Bottoms. So Bottoms falling back now behind Derek Riley. One driver he has to beat tonight.
Seems like Bottoms has had that short run speed, not so much the long run speed. So maybe not able to save tires just enough compared to the front runners up ahead.
Yeah, as early in the run he was up on the top lane, maybe overheated those tires a little bit up on the outside, and moves back to the bottom, trying to stay in some clean air. Trying to get the air back on the tires as well. So he's trying to cool the tires back down. Can't be too aggressive with the wheel. Gotta be smooth. Gotta be light with it.
Looks like Brandon Newton loose off of turn 2.
Brandon Newton gets loose off of turn number 2. He'll fall behind Dan Barone and Cody Dorsey.
Dorsey can take advantage of that though. He might go from 4th to 2nd here. Not quite able to. Let's see a quick replay what happened there for Brandon Newton. Just looks like probably loose off of turn 2. Yeah, just it seems like that second seam, turn 2 and turn 4. Just seems like he gets those cars a little bit looser than the other seams on the racetrack.
Yeah, coming off the corner, especially crossing the seams, the car just loves to bottom out, and it loves to just spin after you cross over the seam, especially going off the corner. That just makes it even worse. And right now, Joshua Schmidt's working the inside lane, trying to go side by side with Kyle Schmidt's. Not going to be able to do it.
Now side by side for second up ahead, Cody Dorsey, Dan Brown. Dorsey half car lane clear, and he looks like he's going to be clear off here off turn number 2 as well.
Dorsey will clear. He'll take that spot away from Dan Barone. Dan Barone trying to maybe fight back on the bottom here, but not going to do it. So now Cody Dorsey going to set his sights forward to try and get to Calvin Smith. Cody Dorsey earlier this run, he was one of the first 2 guys to kind of stand at the bottom of the racetrack. He's been running the bottom a little bit more, saving his tires a little bit better. Now he goes to the apron there. Not necessarily the best for tires because you're turning the wheel a lot there down to the apron. So I don't think Cody Dorsey, they're not really going to gain much time on the apron, especially once you get later in the run. He's trying to chase down Calvin Smith, trying to get to the race lead. He's running about the bottom of the racetrack. Just behind him though, Derek Riley looking the inside of Brandon Newton, trying to take the top, trying to get into the top 4. Brandon Newton trying to hold around the outside. Side by side, still for position. Derek Riley standing in the middle of the racetrack.
Derek Riley will slot in behind. It's cool. It's the inside. Rusty Rafferty. I think Rafferty trying to make up some spots after his half spin there off of turn 2 through the grass. He went as well. He's up to 9th place. He's now looking inside of Joshua Schmitz in that 2 machine.
Rusty Rafferty works to the bottom of the previous track. We're trying to slide up in front of Joshua Smith. Not going to be able to do it. Joshua Smith will get side by side off of turn number 2 and just rocket past him in the 3. Still not clear though, as Rafferty will still fight to the bottom, trying to fight for this 8th place spot.
Oh, Schmitz in the outside wall. It's going to slow down a little bit down the front straightaway into the trial bowl. They're still side by side here, entering turn number 1. Rafferty on the low line, Schmitz on the top. Looks like Rafferty clear here off turn number 2. Side by side here for 4th and 5th. That's Brand New and Derek Riley. Riley on the bottom lane, gonna use that wet line to help turn that race car. Go clear here for 4th. There's an interesting thing here. Calvin Smith not really able to pull away that much from Cody Dorsey. Remember Dorsey on the first long green flag run we had? He pulled away to about a second and a half or so on the rest of the field, but it looks like he's kind of been able to stay with Calvin Smith about half second between those two drivers. And Dan Barone also not too far behind as well.
Dan Barone's sitting in third, so slowly trying to chase his way up to the race lead. Kyle Smith's looking to the inside of Jason Bottoms, so Jason Bottoms really struggling here late run. Just lost the spot to Brandon Newton. He's trying to close the gap up to Brandon Newton, trying to get back by him, but Kyle Smith was looking to the inside and lap at corner ago. Almost able to the inside, almost able to get by that 5 machine. Not able to do it just yet. So far, Bottom still able to stay just a little bit behind Brandon Newton. Looks like he just kind of stuck in the dirty air. Kyle Schmitz, though, trying to find a way by as well, but it looks like the top's the way to pass. You can't really pass to the bottom unless you have a really big tire advantage, but no one really trying to pass to the bottom. There's Derek Rowley trying to do it, though. He's making it work. He made it work earlier on Brandon Newton. Looking to try and make it on Dan Barone. It looks like he's doing it. Derek Rowley looking very strong here with these tires. He saved his tires really well. He's one of the drivers from the bottom a lot, and looks like he's going to try and do it again. He's going to try and get up off of turn number 2. Going to try and pull a slider, and he will do it. Pulls a slider. Now he's on the outside in the preferred groove. He'll stay to the top lane, just keep the throttle a little bit, not do it though. He'll give the spot back to Dan Barone. Going to try and maybe do a crossover, but gets the dirty air, goes slides up the racetrack.
That was Jason Bottoms loose off of turn 4.
Off of 4.
Yeah,
it cost him a lot of time there.
Yeah, lost 2 positions there. Russ Rackey as Dan Barone and Kyle Schmitz a little slow there, seems like. These drivers still side by side, slowing them down, letting the guys behind catch up to them quickly.
Derek Riley with a good. Oh, that's going to get him loose off of turn number 4. He's trying to slide him in front of Dan Barone, but that air will easily get taken off the back of the race car.
And that's going to
easily break you loose, and that's going to lose him all the time. He's been gaining on the better tires. He's saved his tires better throughout that run, and that's going to cost him all that time. He'll fall all the way back behind. Dan Stockero will fall back to 14th.
And with that, Russ Rackey only 1 point behind now of Derek Riley for the cutoff. So that mistake just cost Derek Riley a ton of points right there and could possibly cost him a chance to advance to the round of 5.
There's still a long way to go here, though. Still only lap 70, so still 90 laps to go this time by. Still, Derek Riley has plenty of time to make something happen.
History now duking out as Cody Dorsey has really closed the gap here on Calvin Smith these past few laps. Right before pit stops will happen here in the next probably 5 or 7 laps. Gap down to about 0.3 of a second between these top 2 as they are gone from the rest of the field. So Big move here from Kyle Schmitz to the outside of Brandon Newland for 4th. Schmitz will clear off of turn number 2. And Brandon Newland will have to slot in line.
Kyle Schmitz up to 4th. Kyle Schmitz up to 4th. Just looking at him, a solid run tonight. Locked himself in the next week. And so far in 4th here tonight. Running good. If he stays up there, he'll easily be locked in at a really good buffer coming into tonight. So Kyle's just trying to extend that as well.
Once again, Cody Dorsey very close to the rear end of Calvin Smith. About 1.5 tenths between those two drivers. As it looks like Cody Dorsey side by side here for the race lead off turn number 2. He's really been really good at saving his tires tonight.
Yeah, really good long run pace here for Cody Dorsey. Work on the bottom. Yeah, they have both drove it away for the rest of the field. It looks like Calvin Smith, his time in the race lead. Coming to a close. Oh, look at the car around off of 4. Rusty Rafferty.
That's
Jason Bottoms also a piece of that as well. Jason Bottoms also got loose as well.
Maybe just pitting as well. He has some right front damage. Or are they trying to get off the lane?
Trying to make a pit stop. We've been 40 laps green here.
Yeah, on those old tires, slowing down, it's tough. This is the tough racetrack to get down the speed. Luckily for Bottoms, he was able to get down the speed, but he lost a lot of time. As Rusty Rafferty, that's championship implications. His championship run may be over tonight.
Meanwhile, battle for the race lead. Cody Dorsey on the bottom, able to drive through on the inside. Is he going to be able to slide him off in front of turn number 2?
Yes, he will.
Going to be able to do it.
Crossover, though.
Going to be able to do it. I was just looking for the crossover. Going to try and drive down into 3 and 4. We'll see also some of these drivers, if they can make it to lap 80, they can make it on one last stop than everybody else. And it looks like Calvin Smith will come down pit road soon. He's going to have to make 2 more stops in this race tonight. I wonder if anyone topped off during that last yellow. Maybe they can go a little bit longer. So far, though, Dan Barone will now take the race.
Kyle Schmitz did top off. He did top off last caution. He's currently at 33 laps on his run. So he did pit last caution. So technically speaking, Kyle Schmitz would be in a couple of these drivers, Dakota Bly, Scott Kerberg, Dan Stockdale, Mike Marshall. All those drivers topped off on that last caution.
And looking good to make it an extra stop, but especially
Brandon Newland spinning on the entry of the pit lane.
Dan Barone as well. And this is also becoming a problem. This also becomes a problem if you're running the top a lot as well here, because you're running the top, you're in the throttle more, you're burning more fuel. So if you're already on that tight line, you don't want to run to the top. Just try and back up around, just save on the bottom, because you know you're not going to be able to make it on a 2-stop if you keep running the top. And now Cody Dorsey, he has to come in a little bit early. He's probably going to have to make 2 extra stops as well. Cole Lewis will come down pit road. But what about Kyle Schmitz? What will he do? He stays to the top lane. He stays out on the racetrack, and he's been running the bottom these past few laps. He's been running the bottom of the field, and that's going to allow him to save a little bit more fuel because he's getting out of the throttle a little bit less as well. And that's going to save your tires as well. And you're going to end up being a little bit faster by the end of the run anyways.
Well, he's starting off his engine. He's trying
to save a little bit, trying to stretch it 1 more lap at least.
So he knows he's very close on making this a 2-stop race.
This number 80, if he can stretch it any longer, that will be the goal. He's clutching in on each corner. We've seen him have a pretty good, pretty insane fuel save at Legacy Atlanta a little while ago. Saved a lot of fuel, so if anyone can save fuel, it will be Dakota Bly. He's currently running in 2nd right now. Kyle Schmitz, this is the target number. He continues to stay out there on the racetrack. Now, if you shave off 1 stop, that's about a lap and a half for a 4-tire full tank stop.
Yeah, I mean, also remember he did top off on fuel at that last caution, so in doing so, that gave him about an extra probably 8 laps of fuel, give or take, compared to the rest of the field. So he's really hard saving now.
No one else was able to make it No one else is able to make it to lap 80. And this is the number for Kyle Schmitz. Every other lap he can stretch it is another lap he can push in that final run. So this could be big for Kyle Schmitz. So even if he has to battle right now, he's got a 4.5 second buffer over to Goodbye, who's the next driver who can make it leave on the 2-stop. So everyone else is still out there on the racetrack. So Kyle Schmitz to Goodbye, Scott Kerber, Dan Stacchero, Mike Marshall. They are all looking to be the ones who can make it on one last stop than everyone else who's already pitted.
Yeah, as Kyle Smith and Cody Dorsey within 1 second of each other. Dorsey with a little bit fresher tires than Calvin Smith, about 2 lap fresher tires. We'll see how big of a difference that makes in his next few laps. Scott Kerber coming out pit lane. Oh, once again,
a spinner.
Will that bring out a caution? It won't, but he's got a black flag. I don't think he was not inside the yellow cones. So maybe a black flag for that 14 machine.
You spun around the cone, and that's not going to be good for Scott Kerber. We'll see if that will be a penalty. He's not yet to get one so far.
Not yet. So maybe got away scot-free there.
Got a little bit lucky there.
Because usually that is a penalty. I mean, usually you have to enter inside the yellow cones. We'll see. Maybe it's a exit penalty, but usually not. That's not the case.
Still clutching, trying to save.
He's really catching on him right now.
That's a little worried. This is kind of a weird strategy here from Kyle Schmitz. You don't want to try and save this early. You don't want to you don't want to give up too much time here over the course of the runs. And he'll come down pit road now.
So he went 40 laps. Take the race lead. He went 41 laps there on not taking fuel under green. So right now he has a little bit of a buffer. So I mean, he might not even have to save these next 2 runs at all.
Yeah, he had the gap to do it there, but he doesn't want to give up.
You can't give up that much.
To Cody Dorsey and Calvin Smith.
I mean, to go by able to go an extra lap. Yeah, I don't know how much he was saving, but looks like he's coming in this time though.
And also, I mean, it was someone like Dakota Bly and Kyle Schmitz. They've been running the bottom the whole run. That's going to save them just naturally about another lap and a half to 2 laps on fuel. If you're running the top pretty much the whole run, you're going to be about probably 3 laps worse than everybody else who's been running the bottom of the Georgia run. So 2 to 3 laps, 2 to 3 laps, or maybe about 1 to 3 laps. So I mean, it can be big depending on how you're driving the race car on the top lane, how much fuel you're burning, and how much fuel deficit you're going to be on.
Also, entering tonight's racing, we've been talking about the points, the playoffs as well. We also have the bracket challenge for round number 1 tonight at Chicagoland. There's only, I believe, 2 matchups that are actively live currently right now. It's Mike Marshall, Cole Lewis, Robert Whipple, and Dan Stacchero. Everyone else, either they're not in the race or yeah, one of the competitions are not, one of the drivers is not in the race for those other 2 brackets, but the 9 seed and the 8 seed and the 7 seed versus the 2 seed here, so kind of something else to watch out for as we entered about a little bit past halfway into tonight's race. As the fuel cycle has kind of cycled through, we'll take a quick look at our championship standings so far currently. Derek Raleigh, 6 points ahead of Jason Bottoms. Dan Brown a little bit further behind, about 9 points back from Derek Raleigh, but Rusty Rafty has exited the session, and Dakota Bly, pretty much his championship hopes are over unless some miracle happens here late in tonight's race.
I mean, he is one of the drivers who are going to be good on one last stop.
Yeah,
so that could give him a good bit of points here.
A win gives you an extra 5 points over second place, so you get 40 points, and plus you get lead laps, so you get 41 points here. I mean, 41 points. Let's say Derek Riley currently right now. Derek Riley right now currently up 30, so I mean, that's a 13-point swing right there for Dakota Bly. I mean, I think he'd still be short though. I mean, he's 22 points back. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I think mathematically it's going to be very much impossible for him to have a chance to get back. Actually up ahead. Calvin Smith, Cody Dorsey side by side here for the race lead.
Yeah, Cardoso trying to drive back to the inside. They were battling for the race lead before that last pit stop. They're trying to do it again now. Cardoso going to try and find his way by Calvin Smith, making a good work on the bottom, side by side, and to turn number 3 and 4.
Smith got clear though off of turn 4.
Calvin Smith will take that spot.
As Dorsey, like I mentioned, has the 2-lap pressure tires, and he's been really good at tire saving so far tonight. So he's definitely one to watch out for here late in the race if we, I mean, depending on how this fuel strategy works out, with 70 laps to go.
Calvin Smith on the top lane, making it happen here still. He's going to might have to make an extra stop. Meanwhile, Kyle Schmitz, he was able to sail much later. He's also in front of Cole Lewis, Eric Rowley, now working by Joshua Schmitz as well. See how these final fuel strategies play out. It'll be about a 5-lap difference, so it looked like probably around, we'll see that final pit stop around 45 to go for the majority of the field. So only one more stop will be needed for like Kyle Schmitz, Dakota Bly, a few others, Dan Takero. We'll only need about one more. We'll see who can go pretty long here later in the next 20 laps or so. 25 laps. Majority of the field, like Calvin Smith, Cody Dorsey, that's been the next 20 to 23-ish laps.
Yeah,
they're probably trying to make the move to the inside on Joshua Schmitz right now. Currently, he's trying to get that 6th place spot away.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes up if this thing does go green the whole way. I mean, like we mentioned before, a lot of these cautions tonight, early on in tonight's race, have mostly just been self spins, not really any like aggressive racing, mostly just self spins. But I mean, we've had a green flag pit stop cycle. It's been about 50 laps since our last caution, so we'll see if we can go caution free the rest of this one. Usually these drivers are really good at keeping these things caution free or minimizing the cautions, but kind of uncharacteristically having a lot of cautions or a lot of ish cautions early on in tonight's race. They got back out front. Calvin Smith still ahead of Cody Dorsey. Two tenths of the gap between these two drivers. I mean, like I mentioned, Cody Dorsey has been really good at tire saving so far tonight. He's been really good in the last like 20 laps of the green flag run, or the fuel run, I should say. We'll see if we see the same thing here on this fuel run as well. Maybe Smith will save a little bit more tires this time, as he knows Cody Dorsey it's just a little bit better saving tires the last time, so maybe Calvin Smith has changed some things up here these next few laps and be a little bit different on these tires.
And also another note that is going to make this a little bit more difficult for the drivers that are trying to make it on one last stop. The track is going to be getting colder throughout the night, as we're down to about almost about 5 p.m. in the sim. So once the tracks, we're not going to get to the night, but the track might get a little bit colder, especially once we get into the sunset hours of this race. It's going to make the track faster, and it's going to make it a little bit harder to save fuel. You're going to be burning. You might also shave off another lap on about half a lap to a lap on fuel. So Kyle Schmidt saving those extra few laps could be huge for him as well. Still could be close. Calvin Smith holding a strong race right now. South front in the race lead.
A little bit out here. Jason Bottoms, Kyle Schmitz, Derek Riley under a blanket here. The 4th, 5th, and 6th. Here comes Riley to the inside of Schmitz. Not able to quite do it off turn 4. Schmitz will stay ahead for now.
Kyle Smith's getting a good run, trying to get by Jason Bottoms. Jason Bottoms, one of those drivers, and almost spun on pit road, having a good recovery from that. Still running in that 4th place spot. Oh, let's just see how these points shake up. Especially, we'll see how this before they fully cycle. So we'll kind of see who we expect it. So once these drivers pit, once the majority of the field pits, and the drivers who are expected to make it only one more stop. Once they're out in the front, we'll kind of get a look to see how the points will change there. But currently, right now, Derek Riley in 5th, the final driver in.
7 points ahead of Jason Bottoms. So if Jason Bottoms does finish in 4th place, Riley would have to finish around 14th for them to be tied on points. So probably 14th actually. So still would be very tough as Riley goes up another spot here, maybe momentarily. He loses that one quickly. So Bottoms let loose there off of turn number 4. He might lose a spot here with Kyle Schmitz. It looks like Schmitz will go on by for a 4th place spot. As Bottoms now falls back into 5th place.
Stay around the outside. Kyle Schmitz, he will clear, but now Derek Riley trying to follow him through as well. Drivers are going to go about 15 more laps. If you can go about 15 more laps, you're going to be on that number to make it to the finish. One more stop. You see, so probably the leaders like Calvin Smith, Cody Orsi, only looking to be able to go about 10 more laps.
It's actually Josh Schmitz through the grass he goes. He'll lose a couple of spots there. So they get back going here through turn 1 and 2. So he's going to lose a couple spots to Jason Bottoms, Derek Riley, and also Cole Lewis, Robert Whipple, and Brand Newman as well. Schmidt's already pretty much locked into the round of 5 at this point, so doesn't affect him too much in the points battle. Jason Bottoms, around he goes. I think through the grass here. He's coming up pit lane actually with 52 laps to go. Very early pit stop here for Jason Bottoms, but I think he knows he can't make it on a one-stop rate, one-stopper. She might as well split up into two here.
Yeah, he knows he's not going to be able to make it, so trying to pit a little bit early here for Jason Bottoms, Steven Horner as well. So Jason Bottoms in the pit road here, about 50 to go, so probably going to split this last one. Split of the 25, just trying to stay on fresh tires as much as possible.
Definitely not a bad strategy here for this 5 machine. I mean, he probably knows in the back of his mind the point situation not looking too good right now, so he has to try something differently to have a chance at the championship. Looks like Calvin's
trying to undercut on the other drivers early. Calvin Smith still staying on the racetrack. Cody Dorsey as well, so he's going to be able to gain a lot of time here on the new tires, as he knows Calvin Smith. We know Calvin Smith, Cody Dorsey, they're going to be short on making on the one stop. They're going to have to pit another extra time, so they got to pit 2 more times. So they can stretch it 10 more laps if they maybe even saving this run. We'll see if they can. I mean, pretty much going about 44, 45 laps for them. So the top end of the field window was looking about 41 to 42. So that might be a little bit too much to ask for Calvin Smith, Cody Dorsey. They might be their bid might kind of be made here. We'll see if they can somehow save enough fuel.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we can go on board here with Calvin Smith and see what he's doing also with Cody Dorsey as well. And he's really fun off these past few laps, so maybe he's saving some fuel. Let's go on board here. This is a 9 machine. Yeah, it's starting off the engine.
There he is, clutching it up, clutching into the corners, trying to save. We know Cody Dorsey getting to save some fuel. We'll see if he can make it to about 40 to go.
Off turn number 2. We'll see if he's saving some fuel as well.
He is not saving. Nope. He's going to the top. Going to the top is not going to help him at all either. That's going to be burning him some fuel. But now Cody Dorsey, the one he's kind of worried about, going to be worried about is Kyle Schmitz. Kyle Schmitz about 9 seconds back. Just giving up that time. So can't give up 9 seconds to Kyle Schmitz trying to save, because now we know Kyle Schmitz, he saved a lot at the very end of that run. And kind of hope that wasn't a little bit, he didn't give up a little bit too much, but he did. But he's now been running the top, so that's buffer is going to be used up a little bit if he keeps running the top lane. But he sticks to the bottom. He pretty much has enough fuel to full push to the very end of the race, and he can go a little bit longer. But he's going to the top. He's been using the top lane a lot this run compared to what he did last run. So we'll see if Kyle Schmitz, if that's going to be a little bit tighter on fuel here for him as well. But Calvin Smith now racing, he's down pit road here with 46 to go, so he's going to have to make one more stop. We'll see if he splits it in half later, or if he's going to try and stretch it all the way to about 6 to go. You will see if Calvin Smith not going to be able to make it. He'll take his first stop now.
Yeah, take his pit stop a little earlier compared to later. So here he goes.
Moreau going to come down pit road as well.
Oh, gotta lock it up though.
Oh, he's gonna lock it up, and he's gonna keep it straight. Good save there.
Oh man.
Cody Dorsey still out there on the racetrack. His gap to Kyle Schmitz, who we know Kyle Schmitz is good. He's actually gaining about 2-3 tenths a lap right now for Cody Dorsey, so he's still going to need.
He's still shutting off his engine.
Still got plenty of time here. Right now it needs probably about 30 laps at this rate.
It looks like Kyle Schmitz not saving at all, so I think he knows he can make it on one stop pretty easily.
If he can get to if he can get to about 38 laps to go, he can easily make it to the end of the race at that point. So he's been pushing, and he's also trying to hold off Derek Riley as well. Derek Riley trying to get to his inside So these two battling are going to allow them to catch up a little bit quicker to Cody Dorsey. Last time out, they gained half a second. So at that point, at the beginning of this race, they only need about 20 laps to get to Cody Dorsey. It's actually, here comes Derek Rowley a little early as well. So Derek Rowley, I don't think he will be able to make it. It's going to be a little bit tight as he's coming to 42 to go. It's going to be tight for Derek Rowley. He's going to have to do a lot of, he can probably make it, but he's going to have to do a lot of saving this run. Kyle Schmitz, he's been ripping the top lane, but he's been making a lot of mistakes up there. But Cody Dorsey, he's really backed off. He lost a second last time by to Kyle Schmitz. He's trying to stretch it as long as he can, trying to get the 40 laps to go, and he's not going to be able to do it. He's going to come down pit road here, coming to 41 laps to go. This is going to be tight for Cody Dorsey. He's going to have to save a little bit in this last run as well.
Really
Kyle
close.
Schmitz saving that earlier in that last run is going to help him here because he's going to have the fuel buffer to put full push in this final run, and everyone else is going to have to save.
Yeah, on board here with Kyle Schmitz, not saving at all. So I think he knows he needs to do the one stopper. I think what he was trying to do is do most of the grunt work, you know, do as much fuel saving as he can early on. So like you mentioned, can push as hard as he wants at the end of this race.
So we can see now as now all the drivers are expected to easily make it on the one stop. They are now in the top 5. Let's take a look at our points here and see how that will shake up. Jason Bottoms is still outside looking in compared to Derek Rowley right now, as Jason Bottoms at 8th, but Dakota Bly still outside looking in, sitting in 3rd. He can get to the lead.
I think he has
race.
to win. I think he'll have to win, and Derek Rowley will have to lose a little bit more positions here. It's still technically possible.
He just lost 15 seconds to Kyle Schmitz after that last one, so like something must have happened.
Yeah, it looks like he has damage. Right front damage there.
So something must have happened. They gave him wheel damage and pretty much took him out of opportunity. But right now, it looks like Kyle Schmitz. It looks like it's going to be between Kyle Schmitz and Cody Dorsey, and see if Cody Dorsey can save throughout this last run. He's going to have to save about an extra lap to 2 laps. He's back to the bottom, back to saving. He cannot run. The thing is with Cody Dorsey, he cannot run the top at all. If he runs the top for any more than 2 to 3 laps, he's going to burn too much fuel and he will not make it.
Lane.
Kyle Schmitz down pit road here with 39 to go. So this is going to be now 38 to go, I believe. So now that's gonna make it a little bit tight. I believe he can go to the top lane pretty much the whole run and make it. Now Dakota Bly is the race leader. Let's take a look at the points now. I don't think Dakota Bly will be able to win this race as he has too much damage, and Kyle Schmitz is gonna be able to make it anyways. But he's still too short. Dakota Bly is gonna have to need a lot of help if he wants to win this race. If he wants to make his way into the championship.
6, 7 points short there. I mean, it's going to be tough. He's actually going another lap here, so interesting. Maybe, he'll be good to the end easily. There comes Kyle Schmitz.
Kyle Schmitz will pretty much be good to the end as well.
So Derek Rowley gets by as well. So really, at this point, the points championship pretty much set in stone. I'm in the top 5 unless something crazy happens to Derek Rowley. I just don't see how Dakota Bly will be able to jump in. Maybe Jason Bottoms will be able to, but Derek Rowley would have to pretty much wreck out of tonight's race to have a chance for Dakota Bly, and Dakota Bly would have to win tonight as well. As Dan Stockero, he's going to see another lap. I mean, this 27 machine will go pretty long here in the run.
The issue is with Dan Stockero, he was so far back. He was almost 20, 25 seconds back
from him. So
yeah, Calvin Smith already pitted. So Calvin Smith is easily going to get to Dan Stockero probably by the end of this run on pace. And we'll see Calvin Smith. He pitted very early. He wasn't going to make it. Now Jason Bottoms, this is one we want to watch. Jason Bottoms pitted way earlier, but he's also way far back as well.
Yeah, he's about 11 seconds back from Calvin Smith here currently. He has a big group of guys behind him who just pitted, like Kyle Schmitz. Kyle Schmitz does not want to get held up too much in this traffic as well. Because right now, technically, Kyle Schmitz does not have to pit again, if we are correct. And Cody Dorsey is trying. Let's see it. We'll go on board this night machine. He's trying to save some fuel. It doesn't sound like he's shutting off the engine though. So he may just gave up on that strategy. You realize
Again,
it's just...
can't turn off the engine in this car, but we'll see if he saves a little bit. 41 laps is the number, but if he runs the bottom, that's going to save him some fuel. He's running the shorter distance. He can't run the top. I think Cody Dorsey will be okay if he sticks to the bottom, just manages his throttle, lifts and coasts a little bit, backs it off a little bit early. I think Cody Dorsey might be fine. But the issue is if Kyle Schmitz closes the gap and it becomes a battle late, Cody Dorsey cannot run the top without worrying about him running out of fuel. So it's going to be tough because he can't really battle by running the top lane. We'll see, but he's looking like he will. Cody Dorsey is looking like will cycle back to second. He is 5 seconds back from Calvin Smith, but we know Calvin Smith will have to make one extra stop. Cody Dorsey's going to be close. He's going to have to save a little bit of fuel throughout this run. And Kyle Schmitz will be good. Jason Bottoms will have to make an extra stop. Dan Barone will make an extra stop. Derek Riley might be a little bit close. Derek Riley's so far back. I mean, really the only one is Derek Riley actually will, he'll have to make an extra stop. I mean, Mike D. Marshall looking like he's the next guy in line that will not have to make an extra stop. Some other drivers might be a little bit close on saving fuel, but really it's going to be close depending on who can save fuel in this final run.
Like you said, it's pretty much the main thing here. Can Cody Dorsey save enough fuel, or has he kind of given up on that chance, that opportunity here? But Kyle Schmitz, he's paid 3 laps after Cody Dorsey, so it's only a 3-lap difference between those two drivers. Cody Dorsey had to stretch around 41 laps on this tank of fuel, which is possible. I mean, some drivers like Dan Stockdale was able to do that, but we'll see. Kyle Schmitz just has to go 38 laps on his tank of fuel, so easily doable. But a 19 machine. Looks like Cody Dorsey might be saving some fuel here.
Well, the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, trying to cut.
Interesting.
Save some time, maybe.
This between line, try to shorten the distance, I guess, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time. I think really he just cannot run the bottom, and the apron might not be the best option, but it's not going to be the best option to save his tires. And I don't think it's really worth it. Just on the apron, just stay off the apron, just run the bottom, lift a little bit earlier, just try and clutch it if you have to. And you can't. It's so much harder to see because you can't cut the engine. And this next gen is still bugged in the sim, so you can't cut the engine off unless they're under pace speed. Super Cody Dorsey running strong right now, looking to beat the net leader because Calvin Smith's gonna have to pit. He's no doubt he's gonna have to pit. He's gonna have to pit within 6 to go. He does have 5 seconds if he wants to back off and try and save. He's gonna have to save a lot of fuel. No way he's gonna be able to save at least. He's still gonna save at least 4 laps. And there's no way he can do it in one run. He's gonna really back off the pace, and I don't think he has enough time.
So he looks like he just clutched in the engine right there. We'll see what's on board here with the snap machine.
Dorsey here through 3 and 4, staying on the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying to shorten the distance as much as he can. He's cutting the apron. It's not going to be great for the tires, but he's got a gap. But he's got a gap to Kyle Schmitz. Kyle Schmitz is also saving his tires and saving around the bottom. So should have running back to the top lane. So gap there about 5 seconds. 5.3 seconds. So Kyle Schmitz closing the gap, trying to make some gap up.
Yeah, also he has fresher tires as well. Oh, here comes Calvin Smith down early. Yeah, I mean that's expected.
20 laps, so
yeah, that's expected right there for that third machine. I don't think
makes the final stop really early here. It could take 2 tires. I think that probably
probably be the best call here. Yeah, we'll see what he does.
Usually, this 2 tires always faster in this next gen car. And looks like he
Jack
will
drops.
take 4.
Yep. Nope, 2.
Oh, no, it takes 2.
You got a call there?
Calvin Smith taking 2 tires. Good call there for Calvin Smith. That's going to give him at least, probably going to be giving the he's going to be a leader out of the drivers who do not make the stop.
Side by side
No
here
doubt.
for fourth. Oh, Jason Bottoms and Derek Riley. As Robert Whipple just giving a black flag entering the pit lane, most likely speeding for that 53 machine.
There's a big penalty there for Robert Whipple. Trying to watch this gap between Cody Dorsey and Kyle Schmitz. Looks like Cody Dorsey's back to savings. He lost that time half a second to Kyle Schmitz. So he needs to go back to saving, trying to shorten distance by cutting the apron on the backstretch. I mean, it's not really going to be any faster. He just needs to try and manage this gap. I mean, just don't force the car to do any movement. It doesn't have to. It kind of has distance on its own, so.
Stan Brown now under attack from Derek Riley. We'll take a quick look at the updated points here with 22 laps to go. And right now, Calvin Smith is at risk of maybe dropping out with a round of 5. Currently, he's on the bubble. About 6 points separate between him and Jason Bottoms, but Bottoms coming down pit lane this time by.
Yeah, Bottoms will have to pit. Barone will have to pit again. And the rest of your already out of the race, so it's really only between him and Dakota Y. So I don't think he's gonna have to worry. I think those championship lap will probably be it. It'll be Josh
I'm pretty
Kyle
sure.
Schmitz, Derek Riley, and Calvin Smith.
Unless Derek Riley maybe speeds down pit lane or has a major incident, I think it's gonna be those top 5 are pretty much locked in for now. But Derek Riley side by side with Dan Barone here for 3rd and 4th.
Riley go to the bottom. We're going to try and slide up in front of Dan Barone here. We'll take that spot away. He'll take that 3rd place spot. Just the gap to Cody Dorsey and Kyle Schmitz, 4.3 seconds the last time by. We're expecting that gap to be the gap to for the win here. Cody Dorsey still trying to save, going really low on the back straightaway. His tires probably not going to be better at all than Kyle Schmitz either, because he's been running the apron. That's just slide your tires down there and trying to turn the car a little bit too much.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's
not getting much of an arc, but that's okay. Not getting much of an arc is okay, but just staying off. You don't want to force the car low, and I think that's what he's doing. He's forcing the car a little bit low off the turn number 2, and that's just
gonna
not
wear out
the way
the
you
tires
want
a
to go.
little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that it doesn't really help that much distance either. It's
yeah, I mean, it's probably half a lap.
You're coming off the middle of the racetrack, going down the racetrack. You better just keep the car straight. Not trying to force anything as well.
We'll see though. I mean, maybe it could add up for.
He has been gaining some time though. Recently.
Yeah, he's not been saving fuel. It seems like he hasn't really been trying to save fuel.
I wonder, Kyle Schmitz, he's been ripping the top. I wonder if he started to get close. He's been running the top the whole run. And I think he might be close on fuel now. He's been staying up top, maybe making a little too much. I know that in the last run, he was making a lot of mistakes up there, hitting the wall a lot. So maybe he just got the wall pretty bad a couple laps ago, lost him some time. Last time he did gain about a 10th and a half on Cody Dorsey. So we'll see if Kyle Schmitz can keep that pace up. He needs a good bit of time now. It's going to be tight here, 4.5 seconds. With 17 laps to go, coming to 16. He's going to have to hope Cody Dorsey's going to have to go back to hard saving and lose about half a second a lap. Cody Dorsey last time by ran a 31.232. The gap is 4.150 at the line there. Kyle Schmidt's a 31.012. So this is going to be tight. It's about 0.2 a lap for Kyle Schmidt. He's going to need, 20 laps at that rate. So I mean, it's going to be close. Cody Dorsey's still running about 31.2s, 30.9 there for Kyle Schmidt. So I mean, he needs about 3 to 3.5 tenths a lap if he wants to get there right at the finish. Kyle Schmidt needs to be gaining about 2.5 tenths a lap if he wants to get there. I think he's doing that these past few laps. Gap that time, 3.5 seconds at the line. So Cody Dorsey trying to save some fuel. He's going to be cutting it close. He's got 12 to go this time by, but Kyle Schmidt is quickly cutting that gap down. I mean, it's going to be between Kyle Schmidt and Cody Dorsey. We know no one else behind Kyle Schmidt will be good except Mikey Marshall. Everyone else is going to be tight. I'm trying to save. They're trying to do the same thing as Cody Dorsey, but the gaps are so big between the rest of the field. It's going to be between Cody Dorsey and Kyle Schmidt here.
And we'll see. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how this works. I mean, Dorsey, just cutting the track like you mentioned, I don't know if it's going to make a big factor. I mean, with coming 11 laps to go, he'll be on this racetrack for 41 laps in total. And he's been saving quite a bit full run, but Kyle Schmidt, I think he's gonna be able to push at the end here. He doesn't really seem like he's saving that at all, so I think he knows he's pretty much good to the end currently.
Yeah, man, that's the issue here. That's the issue here with Cody Dorsey. He just doesn't have the fuel. He doesn't have the fuel to try and push. If he's got to block the top, it's gonna knock his fuel down a little bit too much. It's gonna be close.
Player for round 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's Brand Newton, Josh Schmidt, and Mike Marshall. These drivers still all have to probably pit. Mike Marshall, Marshall will be able to make it here at the end, actually, without having to pit one more time.
Josh is just trying to get by Brandon Newton. 9 laps to go here in this race. Some drivers still have to pit. They're just trying to stretch as long as they can, hoping for a quick caution here. In the next couple of laps, we're coming to 8 to go for Cody Dorsey. We'll see the gap at the line this time. Cody Dorsey picked up the pace a little bit last lap, and now that time 31.341 for Kyle Schmidt. It was 31.065. Another 0.3 for Kyle Schmidt there. They got 3.014 at the line. It's gonna be close. 3 seconds is the gap with 8 laps to go now. It's gonna be for Kyle Schmidt. He needs about a half a second, getting closer to the half-second lap mark. It needs about 3.5 to 4 a lap for Kyle Schmidt if he wants to get there. Might be a little bit too much to ask for. That time by 2.5 taken out of the gap. Cody Dorsey, though, how tight is he on fuel? Does he have to go to saving? He's running the distance. He's shorting the distance. This is not really gonna help him that much, I don't think. He's not clutching. He's just trying to lift. I think he might not be full in it on the straightaways.
Yeah, definitely could be the case.
Top speed for Cody Dorsey on the backstretch that last time by was 185. Kyle Schmitz was 188. So he's not lifting. He's not fully on the throttle, I don't believe, out of the corners. Gap to 2.4 seconds. Is it going to be enough for Kyle Schmitz? We know Kyle Schmitz is good on fuel. We know that's the case. Cody Dorsey, he's got to save a little bit. He's been saving the whole run. He's got 2.4 seconds left. He's trying to get there for Kyle Schmitz. With 5 laps to go, is it going to be enough? You see that gap coming now big time there. Cody Dorsey may have got out of it a lot more. Lost about 2/10 there in 1 and 2, but he gains a little bit off the exit of the corner. Kyle Schmitz may have got the wall a little bit. Yeah, Kyle Schmitz actually got really loose off turn 2. Had to keep it up. Did get in the wall. Had to come way off of it. That's gonna cost him some time. That could be enough time. That could be just enough time for Cody Dorsey to save fuel. 4 to go. He's gonna have some lap traffic here now. As Cody Dorsey gained a 10th that last time by. Does he have enough? Coming to 3 to go. Kyle Schmitz is full throttle, full flat out trying to get there, but he's making too many mistakes. He's just trying to push too hard. He's full push for Kyle Schmitz, but Cody Dorsey, 3 to go. Can he save? Has he saved enough? He pushed that last time by. We're at 31 to 1. That there, 31.277. 3 laps to go. The gap at the line, 2.406. Just a slight gain for Kyle Schmitz. He needs pretty much a second lap at this point.
But can Cody Dorsey even make it at this point right now? I think, based off what he's doing, I think he thinks he can make it.
I believe he will. I think he's got enough of a gap. I think he saved enough. He only needed to save maybe about a lap, maybe 2 on fuel. Cody Dorsey, though, that time 31.304. 2 seconds, 2.3 seconds at the line. 2 laps to go for Cody Dorsey. He just needs to go probably about just about 2 1/3 miles at this point now, as he's halfway down the back straightaway.
Does he have enough fuel? It's gonna be really close out of the fueling here on this white flag.
We'll see how it goes. The gap is now about 2.2 seconds, about 2 seconds out for Kyle Schmitz. So white flag, 1 lap to go for Cody Dorsey. 1.5 miles of fuel needed. He's not gained much. He's not lost much at all to Kyle Schmitz. Kyle Schmitz, we know, is good, but can Cody Dorsey, can he just get another half a lap of fuel out of it? He's shortened the distance as much as possible here down the back straightaway, but I think he's gonna have enough. Through 3 and 4, Cody Dorsey looking to go into Championship 5 and back up his championship in a couple of weeks' time. But off of turn number 4, Cody Dorsey out of gas, but he's going to have enough to coast it. Cody Dorsey will win at Chicagoland.
Unreal right there. As they're battling it here for 4th place. Calvin Smith looks like he's going to get in the top 5 spot. Mike Marshall, Cole Lewis could be side by side for 6th and 7th. It's going to be Mike Marshall, actually a 5th place spot, actually 6th place, excuse me, over Cole Lewis. But man, Cody Dorsey out of fuel, not going to be able to do any burnouts, but he was pretty much out coming to the line, sputtering coming to the line there. What a fuel save job for that 9 machine.
Just, a little bit more, and Kyle Schmitz, 1.6 seconds was needed. And
wow.
then now, Kyle Schmitz just probably, what if I didn't make those mistakes with those few laps to go? He made a couple mistakes, a lot of mistakes coming off turn 2 with like 5 to 10 to go that cost him a couple tenths a lap, and that could have been the gap. He only needed 1.6 seconds. Just not enough for Kyle Schmitz. As Cody Dorsey gonna be able to burn it down here on the front straightaway. Well, he's gonna have to. He's gonna try, but that's all he can do. That's all he's got. That's all he's got enough fuel for.
Yeah, he was being pushed pretty much.
That machine.
Pushed up here.
Able to save enough fuel in that final run. He picks up the win. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back with the first news here from Chicagoland. Welcome back here to Chicagoland. You just wrapped up the Goat Fuel 240 here tonight from Chicagoland. As Cody Dorsey able to save a little bit extra fuel, having to pit a little bit early in that final race, final run, able to save it up and pick up the win. We'll talk to him and the rest of the top three in just a moment. Let's take a look at the results here tonight. As Cody Dorsey able to pick up the win. Kyle Schmitz will pick up in second. Derek Riley around the top three. We'll talk to those three in just a moment. Joshua Smith finishing fourth tonight. Calvin Smith around to the top five. Mike Marshall finishing in sixth. Cole Lewis in seventh. Dakota Bly in eighth. Dan Stacchero finishing ninth. Jason Bottoms running at the top 10. Brandon Newton finishing 11th. Scott Herberger in 12th. Robert Ribble in 13th. Dan Barone in 14th. Stephen Order running at the top 15. And Rusty Rafferty running their 16-car field here tonight from Chicagoland. And before we get to our interviews, let's take a look at our points and who has made the Championship 5 and race for the championship over the next 3 weeks. Joshua Schmitz able to lock in easily. He gets the first. Kyle Schmitz will be in second. Cody Dorsey will finish in third in the points and able to make his way into the Championship 5. Derek Riley will pick up in fourth, and Calvin Smith will be the final driver to race for a championship over the next 3 weeks. Jason Bottoms, Rusty Rafferty, Dakota Bly, and Dan Barone will all be out in racing. Will no longer be in the playoffs, and they will just be racing for wins at this point. And Dorian Hamilton in 10th, the Blake name there, did not show up tonight, so he will also be out as well. But it'll be Joshua Schmitz, Kyle Schmitz, Cody Dorsey, Derek Riley, and Calvin Smith, our Championship 5 for the next 3 weeks. They'll be going into Daytona, Las Vegas, Daytona and Las Vegas for the next 2 weeks, and they will meet the championship at Auto Club on March 12th. So that will definitely be a fun next 3 weeks to watch. But now we see our Championship 5. Now let's step down to victory lane here with the race winner of Cody Dorsey, able to pick up the race win, saved enough fuel in that final run there. What do you think? How difficult was it to save throughout that final run, knowing you had to save about a lap or two there?
Honestly, it wasn't crazy hard because I did most of my saving on the stint before. I used Calvin for draft to save a little bit, and then whenever he would run the bottom where I was running, I just clutched it. Like, I did most of my saving on the stint before. That last stint, when I came out, I was already halfway in a better spot. So I only mostly all I did was just lift a lot on that last stint coming to the checkered.
Yeah, able to save enough. Kyle Schmitz was closing that gap in, but more importantly, tonight you get the win, and now you're in for the Championship 5 to back up your championship. How does that feel going into the next 3 weeks to try and get another championship here in the next few weeks?
Feels pretty good. I know I had a decent little cushion coming in, but anything could happen, so I just wanted to run good. That's good. It's nice to know and I have a chance to at least go out and defend. There's definitely some guys that are definitely quicker than me and stuff, so I'm going to have to run a little bit better. It's good to get this win to carry a couple extra points into the next round. They could be very crucial, especially with Daytona next week, and then I think Vegas and Auto Club to end it out. So having those 2 points heading into Daytona definitely helps. It definitely can't hurt you going to a super speedway.
Yeah, Daytona next week can be a wild card. It'll definitely be a fun one to watch. The final super speedway race of the season. Before we set off on your way here tonight, any sponsors I think for tonight's race win?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys up in the booth. Of course, you guys do everything for us. We really appreciate you guys broadcasting and everything. Big shout out to Burlington Cafe for being the title sponsor and stuff. It's really cool to finally get a win with them on the car. I've scratched it a couple of times trying to get one with them, but now I finally got one. Kevin, Kyle Schmitz for my mom's addictions. Want to thank them for what they've done for the dash this season. Kevin, Kyle with KK Woodscapes, Sim and Destroy merch stuff they've done for the league. Really appreciate them. And I want to thank Dakota Bly too. He also made the paint scheme for me tonight. So also just want to shout him out and shout out the guys. It was a good race after a couple early cautions, but it was fun to get some good racing there at the end.
And once again, congrats on the race win here tonight. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
All right, thank you, Aaron.
So it's Cody Dorsey, our race winner here tonight. We'll bring in our second place finisher of Kyle Schmitz, and able to try to chase down Cody Dorsey there. Knew he had an extra bit of fuel to push. What do you think could have done for the there to maybe try and chase down that extra 1.6 seconds to try and steal the win away?
I needed one lap. That's what I needed. I felt so good that last stint. I unfortunately early on in the race got really off sequence, so everyone's pitting and I could make it another 5 or 6 laps. So in the middle of the race, I was saving pretty well, not knowing, but hoping we'd have green flag runs. Got the green flag run, but I think after that last pit, I was 12, 13, 14 seconds behind Cody, and I pushed as hard as I could up until, I don't know, 3 to go maybe, and I conceded. I pushed as hard as I could. Tires were hot. Tires were wearing out. I couldn't do anything else. So I closed the gap a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I'm pretty happy with second as bad as my race started anyways.
Yeah, but tonight you had a good buffer. You're already able to get a solid second place run here tonight, but you lock yourself into the championship 5. What's your game plan going over the next few weeks to try and pick up this championship here as you're looking to try and win the championship over Daytona, Las Vegas, and Auto Club over the next few weeks?
Well, these are all 3 of my favorite tracks, really. I grew up in Southern California, so I did go to California Speedway a lot, and all the video games growing up and everything, California Speedway was what I played. I enjoyed on this as well. I'm pretty excited for California. Daytona is it's Daytona, so hopefully I can get matched up with someone who is willing to work with me a little bit. And Vegas is just fun. Vegas reminds me of this a lot. You can high side, low side, in the middle. It is very racy. I enjoy the racy tracks as long as I have enough fuel for one more lap.
Well, we'll see how that plays out for you over the next 3 weeks, and that'll definitely be fun to watch you battle out, try and get the championship here over the next 3 weeks. But before we send off on the way, any sponsors would you like to thank for tonight's race, second place run?
Yeah, absolutely. My Mom's Addiction's on eBay. Go check us out. A lot of NASCAR memorabilia and stuff like that. Spare Parts Gaming Community, racing on Xbox and here. And of course, Quantum Bearings, KK Woodskips, Burlington Cafe, Smackin', and you, Aaron Talon with LRN. Appreciate everything you guys do for us, showcasing us. That's really nice of you.
Once again, congrats on your second place finish here tonight. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Thanks, Aaron. See you tomorrow.
So it was Kyle Schmitz, our second place finisher here tonight. We're now over in our third place finisher, Derek Riley, which is a fun fact, able to save the most fuel out of every driver there in that final run. Able to pick up the third place finish here tonight, able to lock your way in to the next round and fight for a championship over the next 3 weeks. So kind of what's your game plan going into the next round and able to fight for a championship?
Hopefully just stay clean. Kind of like tonight, I kind of got loose off 4 and pretty much went to dead last, but luckily I had 2 really good pit stops and was able to work back up. But hopefully just stay clean, stay up front, don't do anything stupid, and have some good results.
Yeah, going into Daytona next week, then you got Las Vegas and Auto Club. So kind of a 2 mile or a mile and a half, and then you got the super speedway. So it's definitely going to be a kind of weird combination difference from each week. So kind of what's your game plan going to there? How are you going to use tonight and kind of build your momentum going into the that final round as well?
Yeah, Daytona, I feel confident, but obviously anything there can happen. And obviously the mile and a half, 2 mile tracks, whatever they are, I'm more comfortable with. And some less crazy stuff can happen there. But hopefully all of them we can just keep our nose clean and not get into any crashes.
Yeah, but a really good, solid run for you tonight. Able to pick up a third place finish, and that allows you to get into that final round. Before you send off on the way, any sponsors would you like to thank for tonight's third place run?
Yeah, for sure. Got to thank Quantum for putting this on. Burlington Cafe, My Mom's Addictions, Akaya, Smackin' Seeds. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but everybody that helps out. It's definitely nice to have a lot of hands on deck.
And once again, congrats on your third place finish here tonight. We'll see you next week in Daytona.
All right, we'll see you guys.
So it was Derek Riley, our third place finisher here tonight from Daytona. We'll start from Chicagoland. We'll head to Daytona next week. That'll definitely be interesting next week, though, at Daytona. Can be a wild card. We saw it shake up the last season at Talladega being in the final round. It's definitely going to be tough race next week. Just trying to stay alive for those Championship 5 drivers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just as a driver already, you're nervous about Daytona, and then it'll affect your championship. That'll make you even more nervous, and you just can't make any mistakes. You can't, like, kind of how Derek Riley was saying, you just can't have a bad race, or you can't wreck out of a race. I mean, that's really the main goal in this championship format. You just cannot have a bad race. You only have 3 races, and if you have a really bad race at Daytona, I don't really think you have enough opportunities to make that up at Vegas and Auto Club. So, I mean, you just have to have a good, solid 3 races and have a chance at the end there at Auto Club, and see what you can do there in California.
And we'll see over the next 3 weeks how that championship battle will play out. Well, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network over the next week, Tuesday night we'll have the top 2 racing series back at Echo Park Speedway, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. On Wednesday we'll have the Superstar Cup at Darlington at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Actually, apologies, that's the incorrect. I'll fix that. We'll fix that in just a second. And on Thursday, we'll have the Quantum. Next Thursday, 1 week's time, we'll have the Quantum Contender Series open up their Championship 5 run at Daytona at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. It's definitely a fun schedule coming up here on the Legends Racing Network, and it's definitely gonna be fun. Got the next 3 weeks. Gonna be a good championship. But now we have the schedule up for the Superstar Cup. Apologies for the incorrect scheduling there. Well, they will go to Pocono next week. Well, actually, sorry, Iowa. They'll go to Iowa for their regular season finale. I do not have my schedules up at all. But it's definitely a fun one here tonight from Chicagoland. We saw a lot of different fuel strategy coming up late. But it was definitely a fun one tonight for the Goat Fuel 240. It's definitely been a fun one up here in the booth. I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer tonight of Talon Drake. We'll see you next time. Mainly Legends Racing Network. So long from Joliet, Illinois.